It's finally over. The mystery surrounding Lacy Chebert's private life has been blown wide open. After years of speculation, fans are reeling from the shocking revelation that the Hallmark star secretly tied the knot with David Nehdar, ending one of Hollywood's most private romances. Lacey, beloved for her roles in Mean Girls and countless Hallmark movies, has always kept her personal life out of the spotlight. For years, little was known about her relationship with David Nehdar. The businessman remained largely invisible to the public eye, fueling endless questions about Lacey's romantic life. Now, confirmation of their secret wedding has sent shockwaves through her fan base. The couple reportedly exchanged vows in an intimate ceremony, surrounded only by family and close friends. Insiders claim the event was deliberately low-key, with no paparazzi and no Hollywood spectacle, just a heartfelt celebration of their love. For fans used to seeing glamorous celebrity weddings splashed across tabloids, this reveal came as a complete surprise. The hidden romance is now finally coming to light. Lacey and David are said to have dated quietly for years, carefully avoiding the spotlight while building a strong foundation away from the pressures of Hollywood fame. The secrecy has sparked admiration from some fans, who applaud their decision to protect their relationship from media scrutiny. Others, however, have expressed shock, saying they feel blindsided after assuming Lacey was single for so long. Social media has exploded with reactions. Many fans are congratulating the couple, praising Lacey for keeping something so precious private in an industry known for oversharing. Some, however, are demanding more details, curious about how the couple managed to pull off a secret romance in an age where celebrity lives are constantly exposed online. For Lacy Chabert, the news marks the beginning of a new chapter. Known as the Queen of Hallmark Christmas movies, she now has her own real-life fairy tale ending, one that no one saw coming. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. Lacy Chebert's secret wedding has not only shocked fans, but also proven that even in Hollywood, true love can be kept hidden until the perfect moment to reveal it.
In the world of made-for-TV romance, few collaborations have generated as much heartfelt chatter and enduring affection from viewers as the on-screen partnership between Scott Wolf and Lacey Chebart. Their joint venture in Hallmark's beloved holiday movie, A Merry Christmas Match, struck a sweet chord with audiences who crave the cozy mix of small-town charm, nostalgic romance, and earnest storytelling that Hallmark has perfected. Over the years since its premiere, the film's popularity has led fans to an inevitable question: would Scott Wolf be willing to return alongside Lacy Chabert for a sequel? Recently, in an interview that quickly made the rounds among entertainment outlets and Hallmark's loyal social media community, Wolf addressed this very question, sparking waves of excitement, speculation, and fond memories for the many viewers who still rewatch their favorite holiday films every year. Scott Wolf's career has been defined by his ability to portray characters with a mix of warmth, sincerity, and depth. Many first came to know him through his role as Bailey Salinger in the 1990s hit drama Party of Five, where he played Lacy Chabert's older brother. That sibling dynamic on network television became a cornerstone of both actors' early careers, and the chemistry they developed in those years carried over into their Hallmark collaboration decades later. When Hallmark announced that Wolf and Chabert would share the screen again, this time in a romantic holiday movie, it was a rare reunion that delighted fans of Party of Five as well as Hallmark devotees. The nostalgia factor alone guaranteed attention, but the film's heartfelt plot and strong performances ensured that it became one of Hallmark's most talked-about seasonal releases. In his recent comments, Wolf spoke about the joy of working with Chabert again, calling her one of the most talented, generous, and easygoing co-stars he has ever had. He noted that there was an immediate comfort level between them on set, given their history, and that the trust they built decades ago made the process of creating a new romantic dynamic feel effortless. This comfort translated into a natural chemistry on screen, which in turn resonated deeply with audiences. Wolf acknowledged that viewers picked up on this genuine rapport, and it's part of why people have been asking for more. When asked whether he would be open to revisiting their characters in a sequel, Wolf was candid, saying that he would absolutely consider it if the story felt right and the timing worked for both of them. He made it clear that his willingness wasn't just about professional opportunity. It was about how meaningful the collaboration had been and how much he values working with Chabert. Lacy Chabert has built a reputation as one of Hallmark's most bankable and beloved stars, headlining dozens of movies for the network, particularly within the Christmas genre. Her dedication to Hallmark storytelling and her ability to bring authenticity to every role have made her the face of Hallmark's holiday programming in many viewers' eyes. Chabert herself has spoken warmly about her experiences working with Wolf, highlighting their shared history and the ease with which they were able to create a believable romance on screen despite decades of portraying siblings. She too has hinted in the past that she would be open to a sequel under the right circumstances, though she has always emphasized the importance of having a strong script and a story worth telling. Prospect of a sequel raises interesting creative questions. Would the follow-up pick up directly where the first film left off, showing the continued journey of their characters as they navigate life and love in a picturesque small town? Or would it be a more loosely connected sequel, reimagining the pairing in a completely different setting and storyline, similar to how Hallmark often reuses beloved actor combinations in new narratives? Wolf seemed open to both possibilities, though he expressed that revisiting the same characters could offer fans a satisfying continuation and allow the actors to explore new emotional territory with familiar roles. For Hallmark, the potential of a Wolf Chabert sequel is more than just fan service, it's smart business. The network thrives on recognizable faces and returning pairings that draw in loyal viewers. In recent years, Hallmark has increasingly embraced sequels and franchise-style storytelling, as evidenced by films like the Wedding Veil trilogy starring Chabert and her co-stars. A sequel featuring Wolf and Chabert would fit neatly into this strategy, especially given the strong ratings performance of their first collaboration. Executives at Hallmark are well aware of the value of nostalgia, and bringing back a beloved TV brother-sister duo in a romantic pairing for a second outing could easily become a hallmark of the network's seasonal lineup. Beyond the business and creative considerations, there is an undeniable emotional pull for fans who grew up watching Party of Five. The original series dealt with themes of family, loss, and love in a way that made its young cast members household names. Seeing Wolf and Chabert together again in any capacity taps into that shared cultural memory, and reuniting them for another holiday romance would allow viewers to indulge in that nostalgia while enjoying a new, heartwarming story. Social media has been flooded with posts from fans who say they would watch anything featuring the two of them, and many have suggested plot ideas ranging from holiday weddings to family reunions set against a snowy backdrop. Wolf's openness to the idea of a sequel comes at a time when Hallmark actors are increasingly crossing over into other projects, from streaming platforms to competing networks like Great American Family. For many fans, Hallmark movies represent a rare space in entertainment where stories remain wholesome, uplifting, and comfortingly predictable in the best possible way. The Wolf-Chabert pairing embodies those qualities, and a sequel would reinforce the network's commitment to delivering the kind of storytelling that keeps viewers coming back year after year. Challenge would be in crafting a narrative that feels fresh while retaining the magic of the first film. During his interview, Wolf reflected on the unique environment of a Hallmark set. He described it as collaborative, supportive, and genuinely fun, an atmosphere that makes returning to such projects appealing. He also spoke about the feedback he has received from fans, not just in the United States but internationally. People from all over the world have reached out to express how much the film meant to them, particularly during challenging times when uplifting stories can provide real comfort. This kind of impact, he suggested, is a big part of why he would be happy to reprise his role. Chabert, for her part, continues to balance a busy Hallmark schedule with voice work, occasional guest appearances on television, and her role as a mother. A sequel with Wolf would undoubtedly need to fit into her tightly packed calendar, but the goodwill from their first collaboration could make it a priority if all the elements align. Hallmark's production calendar often allows for flexibility, especially for projects with strong audience demand, so scheduling might not be the biggest obstacle. Conversation about a potential sequel also touches on broader industry trends. In an era where reboots, revivals, and sequels dominate much of the entertainment landscape, Hallmark has a unique opportunity to put its own spin on the concept. Instead of relying on flashy special effects or high-stakes drama, the network focuses on deepening emotional connections and delivering satisfying resolutions. A second chapter for Wolf and Chebert's characters could explore themes of commitment, blended families, or even community involvement, all framed by the visual and emotional warmth of a Hallmark holiday setting. Fans have not been shy about voicing their hopes. On various Hallmark fan pages, message boards, and Instagram comment threads, suggestions abound for how a sequel might unfold. Some envision the couple from the first film facing a challenge that tests their relationship, ultimately leading to an even stronger bond. Others want to see more of the supporting cast and the small-town charm that made the original so appealing. A few have even proposed tying the sequel into other Hallmark storylines, creating a shared universe of interconnected characters, a concept that Hallmark has experimented with in subtle ways before. Ultimately, whether a sequel happens will depend on a mix of creative inspiration, scheduling logistics, and audience demand. From the way Wolf speaks about Chabert and the experience of making their film, it's clear that the door is wide open for a reunion. For now, fans will continue to rewatch their existing collaboration, share their favorite moments online, and hope that the magic returns in a new form sooner rather than later. What's certain is that the idea of a Scott Wolf and Lacy Chabert sequel fits perfectly into Hallmark's mission of delivering stories that connect, inspire, and comfort. Pairing brings together two actors with proven chemistry, a shared history that resonates with multiple generations of viewers, and a mutual respect that translates beautifully on screen. Even when they do reunite for another film, it will not just be a sequel, it will be a celebration of the kind of enduring creative partnerships that make television magic. Until then, the conversation itself keeps the dream alive, and for Hallmark fans, that's reason enough to keep hoping for another snowy, starry night with Scott Wolf and Lacy Chabert leading the way. Brennan Elliott has always been one of Hallmark's most recognizable leading men, a warm presence who brings humor, heart, and an unshakable sincerity to the channel's trademark romances. But on August 7, 2025, his image as the charming on-screen partner to Lacy Chabert took on a deeper, more poignant meaning. On that day, Elliott openly shared with fans that the woman many know only as his co-star had, in reality, been a steadfast friend who helped guide him through one of the most difficult chapters of his life. His words not only drew back the curtain on their decade-long working relationship, but also revealed a friendship so profound that it became a lifeline during a period of unimaginable loss. The story behind Elliott's revelation begins with a triumph. His and Hers, the romantic comedy he starred in alongside Chabert, had just been voted Favorite Romantic Comedy of 2024 at the It's a Wonderful Movie Awards. The honor was yet another testament to the pair's consistent chemistry, a quality fans had celebrated ever since they first appeared together on Hallmark years ago. Yet when Elliott went online to thank viewers for their support, the post quickly became about more than accolades. He began by expressing how humbled and grateful he was that audiences had embraced the film, noting how fortunate he felt to share the screen with Chabert for the 10th time in their careers. But then, in a shift from the typical public congratulations, he pulled back the veil on what she had truly meant to him away from the cameras. Elliott wrote that Lacy Chabert was not just a trusted collaborator but one of his best friends in the whole world. In that moment, he made clear that what they shared was not just Hollywood marketing or carefully cultivated publicity. He explained that Chabert had been by his side through what he described as this dark time in his life, the period when his beloved wife, Camilla Rowe, battled cancer and ultimately passed away earlier that year. Elliott acknowledged that he had been blessed with many caring friends during that painful journey, but said Chabert stood at the very top of that list. He called her a soul sent from heaven, someone who had helped not only him but also his two children navigate their grief, offering support both in moments of quiet devastation and in the small bursts of light that are so necessary in dark seasons. his tribute carried more than just thanks, it held a kind of reverence. He made sure to point out that Chabert had supported not only his family after Cammie's death but had been present for them while she was still here, offering compassion, understanding, and friendship when days felt impossibly heavy. He expressed the hope that they would have the opportunity to make 100 more movies together, but more importantly, he hoped their friendship would continue for the rest of their lives. For Elliot, the blessing was not just in having a co-star with whom he shared an effortless rapport, but in having a true friend whose loyalty and kindness became an anchor in a storm. Chabert's public response was immediate and deeply heartfelt. She wrote that she and her family loved Brennan and his family very much, and that they were always there for him. She emphasized how much she treasured his friendship and shared his wish to do many more movies together in the future. Her words were simple, but the sincerity behind them was unmistakable. To those who have followed their careers, the exchange was proof that their partnership is as genuine off-screen as it appears on it. The reaction from fellow actors and fans was swift and emotional. Christopher Palaha, another familiar face in the Hallmark world, left a row of heart emojis, while Stephanie Bennett, who had worked with both actors, commented simply, "Love this!" Fans flooded the comments with messages of support, not only for Brennan in his grief but also for the friendship he and Lacey share. Many noted how their real-life closeness made their films even more special, while others offered continued prayers for Brennan, his children, and for Cammie's memory. Community that has long embraced Hallmark stars for the comfort they bring into homes now had an even deeper reason to feel connected to Elliot and Chabert. For many, this revelation was more than a behind-the-scenes tidbit. It reframed the way viewers see the duo's entire body of work. Since their first collaboration, Elliot and Chabert have built a cinematic partnership that feels effortless, whether they are portraying new lovers, longtime sweethearts, or old friends rediscovering each other. One of their most beloved projects together, the All of My Heart trilogy, left fans clamoring for a fourth installment. Chabert herself has previously said she would love to revisit those characters, but her words about working with Brennan, calling him a joy and a trusted partner, now resonate with an even greater depth. These were not just kind words exchanged between colleagues, they were reflections of a bond forged in years of shared work and mutual care. Elliot's post, however, was not made to promote a new project or stir up nostalgia. It was an unguarded expression of gratitude born out of personal loss. His openness about how much Chabert's friendship meant to him during his wife's illness and after her passing allowed fans to see him not just as an actor but as a grieving husband and devoted father. In naming Chabert as a central figure in his support system, he reminded the world of the profound impact one person can have simply by showing up, by offering love without conditions, and by remaining present through the heaviest of days. This moment also spoke to something universal. While not everyone knows the specific heartbreak of losing a spouse to illness, nearly everyone understands the importance of having someone who can be leaned on without hesitation. In honoring Chabert publicly, Elliot gave voice to the gratitude so many feel for the friends who help carry them through life's hardest chapters. He also gave a living example of the quiet heroism that friendship can embody, not in grand gestures but in steadfast presence. Professionally, the two may not share the screen in the immediate future. Elliot has recently spoken about preparing to return to acting for the first time since Cammie's passing, though his next role will not be a Hallmark project. Chabert, meanwhile, has been busy with her own schedule, recently completing work on another romantic film. Whether or not their careers align again soon, the promise of future collaborations hangs in the air, and fans will watch with new appreciation for the personal history they bring to each performance. In an industry where relationships are often fleeting and many on-screen pairings are purely transactional, the friendship between Brennan Elliott and Lacy Chabert stands as a rare and valuable thing. It is a partnership that began in scripts and set locations but grew into something much larger, something that could weather the storms of real life. In revealing that truth, Elliot offered his audience a story more powerful than any scripted romance. It is the story of how one person's loyalty and kindness can be a light in another's darkest time, how friendship, real enduring friendship, can be as beautiful and life-changing as any love story ever told. Chebert's public response was immediate and deeply heartfelt. She wrote that she and her family loved Brennan and his family very much, and that they were always there for him. She emphasized how much she treasured his friendship and shared his wish to do many more movies together in the future. Her words were simple, but the sincerity behind them was unmistakable. To those who have followed their careers, the exchange was proof that their partnership is as genuine off-screen as it appears on it. The reaction from fellow actors and fans was swift and emotional. Christopher Palaha, another familiar face in the Hallmark world, left a row of heart emojis, while Stephanie Bennett, who had worked with both actors, commented simply, "Love this!" Fans flooded the comments with messages of support, not only for Brennan in his grief but also for the friendship he and Lacey share. Many noted how their real-life closeness made their films even more special, while others offered continued prayers for Brennan, his children, and for Cammie's memory. Community that has long embraced Hallmark stars for the comfort they bring into homes now had an even deeper reason to feel connected to Elliot and Chabert. For many, this revelation was more than a behind-the-scenes tidbit. It reframed the way viewers see the duo's entire body of work. Since their first collaboration, Elliot and Chabert have built a cinematic partnership that feels effortless, whether they are portraying new lovers, longtime sweethearts, or old friends rediscovering each other. One of their most beloved projects together, the All of My Heart trilogy, left fans clamoring for a fourth installment. Chabert herself has previously said she would love to revisit those characters, but her words about working with Brennan, calling him a joy and a trusted partner, now resonate with an even greater depth. These were not just kind words exchanged between colleagues. They were reflections of a bond forged in years of shared work and mutual care. Elliot's post, however, was not made to promote a new project or stir up nostalgia. It was an unguarded expression of gratitude born out of personal loss. His openness about how much Chabert's friendship meant to him during his wife's illness and after her passing allowed fans to see him not just as an actor but as a grieving husband and devoted father.